Oregon has been blessed with unlimited NIL money from Phil Knight. Phil Knight, according to a report from ESPN, he wants his alma mater to win a championship before he ends up going away. He's 86 years old. He wants to see Oregon hoisting that championship gold, and he has no problem going out his wallet to do whatever it takes to get it done. So now it makes sense why Oregon has been killing it in the transfer portal and in recruiting. They pretty much are getting whoever they want. Anybody that's rated high in the transfer portal, you come on here. You get Evan Stewart. He was one of the best players from this transfer portal cycle, and they were in the running to get pretty much all of the top 10, top 25 transfer portal guys that they wanted. Even if those guys went to other schools, best believe Oregon was in their top 3. And every time I see one of these 5 or highly touted 4-star recruits post the top 5, it seems like Oregon is always included in it. For Oregon to receive unlimited NIL money definitely improves Dan Lanning's chances of being able to win a national title. He's kind of starting to get into that kind of territory where people are going to start calling him overrated for every year that he doesn't get it done. Similar to Kirby Smart at Georgia. Remember, there was a time when Kirby Smart was struggling to get over the hump, and people started to call him overrated and started to say, okay, like, is he going to be another Mark Richt? The win in this new era of college football, you gotta have the money to pay these players, man. I know that a lot of people hate what college football has turned into, but hey, man, this is just the new reality of college football. Everybody wanted these players to get paid, and everybody wanted these players to be able to transfer to whichever school they wanted to whenever they please, but yet we're upset with the effect of, the NIL and transfer portal era, though. But this is what we all wanted. But even though the players are getting what they wanted and what we wanted them to get, we still aren't getting the desired outcome that we wanted. And what college football is turning into is what I've been saying for the last 2 years, is that it's the NFL just being played on Friday nights and Saturday afternoons. There's no difference anymore between what college football is and what the NFL is. They are the same entity pretty much. All right. You, at this point, may be reaching a territory where if you're the NCAA, it might be in your best interest to step in and impose a salary cap. Because when you have somebody like Phil Knight being your leading donor and he just has millions on top of millions to spend on you, it just makes it a little unfair for the rest of the schools out there in college football, because what we thought initially is that allowing players to utilize the transfer portal and to get paid was going to create more parity in this sport. But that really hasn't happened, because what has transpired is that the teams that already were dominating continue to dominate more, because now it's not illegal anymore to pay these dudes out of high school. Now you can be like Tennessee and fly your quarterback out on a private jet for a recruiting visit. You could slide him a $500K advance, and be like, well, we're going to break off the rest once you get here. It's just, for Oregon to be getting these kinds of blessings, you definitely have to expect that they're going to win a national championship sooner rather than later. And for the Big Ten fanboys that keep saying that, Oregon is going to struggle making the transition from the Pac-12 to the Big Ten, no, they are not. Oregon probably has the second best or the best resources up there with Ohio State. Either or. You can either make the argument for Ohio State or Oregon, but even then, I don't even think that Ohio State's pockets are as deep as what Oregon's is. Phil Knight has been going all out for Oregon for years, but it seems like now he's starting to buckle down and say, you know what? I really want to see us get it done, and I'm going to make sure I can do everything in my power to make sure that happens. It's pretty much turning into pay to play for college football. Okay, if you don't have money to dish out for these highly touted guys out of high school or anybody in the portal, you're going to have a hard time getting them. There was somebody that made a statement, I believe he was the head coach of Boise State, that said, yeah, we're not in the market of paying guys out of high school that are unproven. It's like, I understand you, bro, but your stubbornness ain't gonna win you anything no time soon, man. Listen, money runs the world, and it's running college football right now. Dan Lanning, he's on the clock to win a natty. He has to do it soon, but I believe that is coming. I think that he's building Georgia on the West Coast, and I think that they're about to give the Big Ten a punch in the mouth this year for everybody that thinks that they're going to struggle making that transition, because there aren't too many teams in the Big Ten that play great offense and great defense. And there's only been 3 teams in this conference that have mattered. So, listen, for Oregon to be getting unlimited NIL money should simply be unfair, man, because eventually it's going to end up paying off and them winning the natty. And I hope they are able to do it before, we end up having to say goodbye to Phil Knight.